And now moving on to Africa, the world is facing extreme weather conditions due to the climate change. However, the impact has been significantly more in the nations of the global south who are witnessing droughts, extreme rainfalls, and at times both. Somalia in East Africa is one such example which is witnessing most severe floods it has seen in decades that has killed at least 29 and displaced hundreds of thousands of Somalians. The irony, however, is that the country just a few weeks back was dealing with a record drought. Let's take a look at how the climate change has impacted the African region and what are its consequences for the world.
It is raining on us for the fifth day. Lying in the rain killed 2 elderly women. Our makeshifts were washed away. Children are missing now. We do not know whether they are dead or alive.
Faduma Abdulkar is one of over 1 million Somalians affected by the deadly flash floods that have devastated the East African nation. Over 1 million people in Somalia have been displaced by the incessant rainfall and frequent flash floods in several parts of the country. Amina Mohammed is one of the displaced residents who had to live with her family due to the non-stop rains in order to find shelter.
We had come from Lower Shabelle region. We came here where it is raining day and night. It is a big problem. We are suffering.
Somalia has become a hotspot for extreme weather conditions like flash floods, water scarcity, and drought. It's also the second most vulnerable country and is plagued by illegal logging, deforestation, and land degradation. And now, after heavy rains and flash floods killed over 24 people, the government has declared an emergency, displacing over 1 million people to relief camps. The United Nations Environment Programme is helping the Somalian government to design nature-based solutions that reduce flood and drought risks and ensure that communities cope with future climate shocks.
There is quite a big irony around people fleeing for the fact that they don't have water and now fleeing because they have too much water. And so it's a real dichotomy or problem that we're seeing. And the IPCC report quite clearly says that this cycle of flooding and drought is going to continue, and we're going to see this more and more unless we really do something on a global scale to try to reduce these and try to stay on this Paris 1.5 alignment.
Continuous armed conflict as well as increased food prices by Russia-Ukraine war have made the crisis worse. The UN says more than 40,000 people died last year because of the drought. About half of them are children. And these floods are now killing even more. With the impacts of climate change increasingly visible, the recent disasters once again highlight the need for the world to act fast to contain the outcomes of global warming that have disproportionately affected the global south.